Welcome, Pro Synth Network Live, episode 239. It is the 1st of bleeding November. Where the hell has the rest of the year gone? Don't even bother answering that one. God. Soon be Christmas. Anyway, moving swiftly along. It's been one of those days. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us as per usual. Your patronage is most appreciated. I almost didn't make the show because I was just finishing listening to this, which you must go out and buy right now. The new album from The Cure is just incredible. Go and get it. You'll love it. I don't care whether it's got synthesizers. It has got synthesizers in it, but it's brilliant. Go and get this now. It's superb. There you go. Sorry, Robert Smith made me promote that. Welcome to the show where we talk about stuff to do with synths and the like. And we don't have much to talk about in the world of synthesizers. We've got a bit of a leak, which I need to get sorted. But no, we've got an information leak that literally just sort of happened in the last couple of hours or so. So we'll talk about that as much as we know about it. And there are a few other bits and bobs, like somebody won the Bob Moog Foundation Mini Moog, so we'll talk about that. And we've also got a few other things. And we've got not just one, but two Synthspiration videos. Yeah, nothing for ages, and then two come along at once. And one of them, I mean, they're both really good, but one of them is extra special. It's about 24 hours late, but you'll see when we do it later on. So we've got some Synthspiration stuff for you. Welcome to everybody in the chat, and if you're there, you'll also notice some lovely people with spanners after their names. It denotes that they're a complete and utter tool, but they also do a fantastic job for us moderating the chat and making sure that everyone in there behaves and respects everyone else and is good and nice and loving, and that's all we want. And if you're watching us for the first time, welcome. Where the hell have you been? 239 episodes, and this is your first one. You could have chosen a better one. Next week will be even better, but we'll talk about that as well. Anyway, moving swiftly on, let us first of all cough our guts up, and then we'll talk about some housekeeping bits and bobs. How about we tell you that if you want to follow us on social media, you can do so. As he flummoxes through, here we go. You can follow us on social media at all the following places. There we go: YouTube, Face, Twitch, Instagram, Threads, and TikTok. We have stuff on TikTok. It's not doing very well, so if you like to use TikTok, go and follow us there and give us a thumbs up and watch some of the videos. We're not paying too much attention to that at the moment. You can also give us a like, a thumbs up or a thumbs down. If you don't like what we do, tell us. That's the only way we know that we can change it. So give us a like and do it during the show, because apparently that helps with getting the numbers up there and everything. Also, if you want to comment during the show, you can use the chat facility. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch or Facebook, all of those feed through to us. And so you can ask questions, and if you want to ask a question, stick a big capital Q in front of your question. That way we can see it, because we're all getting a little bit short-sighted or long-sighted or just cataracts and glaucoma and all that kind of stuff. So put a big capital Q, and then we'll see it, hopefully. Don't forget to also hit the subscribe button, ring the bell for your notifications so you don't miss it. And all of those people who were moaning earlier about the clocks going back and all that stuff, had you subscribed to the channel, your notifications would have come through at the appropriate time for the show starting. Now, we apologize. Well, no, I'm not going to apologize for the fact that the Northern American countries delay their clocks going back, which is a stupid concept, I grant you, but they delay their clocks going back by a week. So there's this kind of zone, this 1 week zone where we're all slightly out of sync. Everything changes, of course. Sunday morning, 2 a.m., the clocks will go back in the United States and other places in the Northern American continent. And the rest of the world, we've been there already. So anyway, that's the reason why, if you are a little late or a little early or whatever it might be, but we should just scrap the whole thing because it's pointless. Anyway, that's my little rant over. Subscribe, ring the bell, and of course, if somebody is not watching the show that you think should be watching the show, then take the link and shove it down their throat until they come on and watch us live on a Friday night. Now, if you want to support us,
You're
if you want
really
to,
nailing this.
I
You're really
am.
nailing this, Robbie.
Don't spoil my flow. Don't mess with the flow. If you want to support us, you can in numbers of ways. This is probably the easiest way to do it. Patreon.com /ProSynth Network. It's a minimum of 2 of your American dollars, because that's the currency they operate in. So there's minimum 2 American dollars. It will get you free stuff. Some of these headphones are feeding back into the microphone, and it's really putting me off.
Yeah. Kent.
There we go. There's still a little bit. Kent's deaf, so he has his cranked up. Yeah, you see. So if you want to support us, patreon.com /ProSynth Network, minimum $2 a month. You get free stuff. You get synth patches, you get videos, you get exclusive early access to things, and we'll be putting more stuff on there as time goes by when we get the time to do so. But that's a great way of supporting us. The other way of doing it, of course, is becoming a YouTube channel member. Again, same thing, minimum $2 a month, and you get access to all the early stuff, and we give you the free stuff too, so you don't miss out. Either way, you can do that. However, ladies and germs, we have a brand new way that you can support us. Well, you've been begging for this. You've been literally banging on my doors for years about this, and we are only too happy to be able to announce we got merch. So here we go. We've got a merch site, and you can go and buy like anything with our name on it, almost sort of thing. So, for example, we've got mouse mats, we've got Justin Have You vest tops, we've got baseball caps, we've got bucket hats, we've got pins, badges, whatever you want to call them, buttons. What else have we got? We've got fake leather jackets. We've got champion cagoules in a pack-a-mac type thing. We've got a proper decent denim jacket. What else have we got? We've got polo shirts for ladies and men. Well, actually, should I say unisex? But there is also a ladies one, because I know that they like their sort of special cuts and what have you. We've got phone cases for iPhones and Samsungs and all types of things. We've got beanie hats, we've got desk mats, we've got backpacks, although apparently the backpacks are now out of stock. We've also got embroidered, get this, embroidered ProSynth Network hoodies. So none of your printed rubbish anymore, although it's not rubbish from here, but you know what I mean. You can have these in any colour you want, as long as it's listed here. So you can have them in forest green, you can have it in maroon, that's quite a nice one. You can have it in purple, or you can have it in bright red, and you'll really stand out from the crowd. There's vintage black as well, which I think is just kind of like not deep black, it's kind of grey thing, and we do them in all the sizes, and there's loads of stuff, and you can jump to the YouTube channel from there as well. Other bits and bobs that we have in there are proper t-shirts, so we have a wide range of premium tees. We've got regular tees with the big logos, or just the horizontal logo across the chest. We've got sweatshirts. We've got mugs, two-tone mugs, so you've got the logo on there and the colour inside, or you've got just a regular mug. You've got water bottles, if that's your thing. And this is for every synthesizer and flight case in your collection. We've got the horizontal sticker, which is easily applied, and we'll be doing some different colours of those. So anyway, there you go. That's the merch, and it's all available right now. If you go to the website address, which I'm going to throw onto the screen if somebody hasn't already thrown it into the chat, but it's basically pro-synth-network-shop.fourthwall.com. Fair rolls off the tongue, that one, doesn't it? So yes, you can do your shopping there, get something for Christmas, treat the wife. There you go, there's the link. Fill your boots. You've been asking for it for ages. We have delivered finally. So we had loads of people buying stuff yesterday, which was really nice, so thank you for that. Just for transparency, we do take a small cut from every sale, so it's another way of supporting the channel. All that money will be fed back into licensing and hardware and software that we need to run this thing. So there you go. Fill your boots. Go and grab some merch right now. The other way you can support us is how our friend the Hand of Lenin has just done by donating through Super Chat Super Stickers. Thank you very much indeed for your usual £1.99. It's very much appreciated. The Hand of Lenin. Thank you very much indeed. And yeah, there we go. So what else have we what else have I not covered? We've done that. Don't forget, yes, Synthspirations. We'll be featuring our first 2 Synthspirations this week. But if you want to send them in, you can do. I'll run the trailer later with the link or the email address that you can send them to, and that'll be fantastic. And I think that's pretty much all of the housekeeping that's managed to waste the first 12 minutes of this show, which is
there's
useful.
More? There's more?
Yeah, there's going to be more show, much more show, loads more show. Let me just remove that. Oh, what have I done here? I keep pressing things and it just doesn't work.
Just so pro.
Where is it? It's gone. There it is. Inspirations. Be gone.
Be gone to inspiration.
Oh, I need a drink. Okay, right. So you've heard the snorting and the coughing in the background. Let's bring those people in. We've done that. There we go. Stop hiding behind your microphone. What? Turn some lights on.
Oh, I can come back to the microphone now.
There we go. There you go. How are you?
Not nowhere near as miserable as you are tonight, apparently.
No. This is true. I have my reasons.
Did you catch a chap in the fridge door or something? What's going on?
That would have been lightweight. That would have been nothing compared.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
He'd have swapped for that.
I have taken one, shall I say, for the team today.
You certainly have.
And let's just say I'm whistling. Anyway, how's Lily? And how was her keyboard skills after last night?
Her keyboard skills is improving.
Jolly good.
Yes.
That was funny.
That
was very funny.
You lot it was, yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully she didn't damage anything.
No, nothing. She didn't even take a biscuit.
Wow.
Which I thought was what she got up there for in the first place. But she goes, oh no, they're rich tea, there's no chocolate on them. No, I'm not
there
interested.
You go.
So,
yes.
There you go.
Yes. Yeah, that was funny. If anybody wants to know what we're talking about, go and watch the pub last night. Lily jumped up onto the Hydrosynth, played a mean chord, I have to say, and then pranced across the CS80.
Yep.
And that was rather amusing.
Yes, what dogs do when you're not looking.
I know. But the camera was on and we were able to catch her in the act.
Yeah. I think Matt clipped it.
He did. I was just thinking maybe I can grab that and show that later.
Yeah, grab it and show it later.
Yeah, we've got nothing else to talk about much today. Anyway, good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. And the other person you hear in the background there is, of course, Mr. Andrew Longhurst.
Yay! Unshaven and looking like.
Oh, look at that.
I mean, I'm just deeply impressed with your demeanour and how calm you've been throughout the entire intro segment, having shouted at everyone and then said, "By the way, buy stuff, please."
Yeah.
I think you've been doing a sales course from Kent.
You grab their attention, then you shove it down their throats.
Shove it down their throats. Say, buy shit now, buy shit. It's fine.
Yeah, indeed.
It's been an odd week, isn't it? It's been a light week. And talking of animals on things, did anyone see Get Jervis's cat at the end? of
Jackson,
broadcast?
Yeah,
that was just.
Jackson's a star.
That was brilliant. And we may have found a new internet star influencer.
Indeed. Yeah, go and watch and then subscribe to Get Jervis's channel.
A man with a lot of kit and kitty.
Yes, indeed. Or a lot of pus. No.
Anyway.
No, let's not go there.
Anyway, apparently you're too quiet.
Am I too quiet? Hang on.
There's a first.
Yeah, there's a first. Is that any better?
I don't know. You sound exactly the same to me, but apparently things are a little bit different in the outside world.
It's really odd. I still can't work out why this would be quiet.
Because your mic is pointing at your cheek.
Well, there is that. Is that better?
See, this is a mic that's designed to be spoken into.
Stardust.
How's that?
It's not much different, to be honest. But anyway.
Yeah, that's the problem, isn't it?
Yeah, stick with that. I
think I might be getting another condenser mic in here. I think that's the ticket. That's what we do.
Anyway, there we go. Oh. By the way, I just wanted to say Keith in Watford in the chat, because I did this just for him. Bright orange. There you go. So that's for you, Keith in Watford. I expect your purchase any second now. I also did the vest tops for Justin, and bless him, Justin, within 5 minutes of me putting them up, had bought one.
Yeah.
just the one. I mean, I was expecting the entire suite, but anyway.
Someone suggested I put on automatic, adjust mic volume automatically. It's not made any difference at all. There we go. There we go. That's barely it. I mean, I'm banging out here, as it were.
Okie doke.
I know what
Let's move on.
Fair dues.
Yes. Right. I really, honestly, like I said, there's not a huge amount going on today, so we will be filling it with 2 Inspiration episodes. But we have got a few little things to talk about, so I guess we'll start with something that is quite exciting, because finally, Modal's Carbon8 is in production and can be ordered right now and will start shipping next week. It's been such a long time since it wasn't Super Booth this year, it was Super Booth last year that we first saw the Carbon8, and it's finally here. Better yet, if you've been hankering after an Argon 8 and Cobalt 8, which haven't been available for a while, they're also now back in production and are available right now at certain retailers, such as Thomann, who we are not sponsored by, but they just happen to be on this page here. But they're all available. That's the modules, the 8X versions, and the 8 versions. So they're all available. But Carbon8 is slightly more expensive than the other two, at 835 quid, or 899 US, or 989 euros. But Synth will be in stock in the next few days, so you can order now and hopefully have one by the end of next week.
Cool.
Yeah, it is. It's an interesting sounding synth, from what I recall, because it was such a long while ago.
It was, wasn't it?
Yeah, but fine. And this is great news, because we all know that that they've been under the cosh, shall I say, Modal, for the last couple of years, and they almost went the way of the dodo, but thankfully Christian and the rest of the team kept things going just enough until a buyer came in, and that buyer was the company that does all the manufacturing for Modal. So they've kind of kept it in the family, so to speak, and that's been really good. So Ultronics, who are based in Hong Kong, do all the manufacturing for this. So they've bought the company out, and it's now being completely restructured from a management perspective, from a product line perspective. The website is still, they are fully aware that the website's a little bit iffy, and that's just because they were kind of left without any access to any of their kind of networks or online stuff. It was all very painful. So I'm really glad that they've managed to get this going.
Yeah,
I've got the Argon and the Cobalt, which I think are great little synths. Anybody up for getting a Carbon?
How much are they now?
899, I believe. Oh, sorry, 835 UK, 899
voice.
US. 8 voice, digital synth. Excuse me. 2 high resolution oscillators per voice, which can each produce 56 complex waveforms. The so-called X-Core engine offers additional sonic shaping such as phase distortion and wave folding, and that's the comparison that people have been making, this being compared to the phase distortion synths of Casio from the 1980s. So yeah, but it does sound quite different and is rather nice. It's a nice 37 key Fatar keyboard as well, with aftertouch, unlike some companies we could mention. Nice
Channel aftertouch.
pregnant
It's a
pause
good
there.
thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean,
polyphonic step sequencer.
I seem to remember it sounding quite unique, but it has been a while. I've not had a chance to look at this today to revive my memory. I'm not sure it's something that I would want to rush out and buy, I have to say. But I'm really glad they're there. I may be going for some of the others though, because the Argon and such, they were lovely systems as well, lovely synths as well.
Yeah.
But I'm really pleased they've made it. I'm really, really pleased they've made it, and it's back out there now. Ken?
Yeah,
No, I've been down this route, and no, I'm fine, thanks. I think I sold my Argon in the end.
did you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the Argon. It's got a very PPG style character to it.
That's probably why then.
Okay. The Cobalt is brilliant. The Cobalt.
I'm just in a different area. I'm a different
it's
area
the
of
sound you
sound.
either get or you don't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm just in a different area from
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
No reflection on the instruments at all.
No?
No, they're all very well made, very well designed, and featuring many sound sets from our friend James Dyson, of course, as well, who's done a lot of stuff for them. But yeah, I imagine, I hope that if this does well, then we'll see the Carbon8 X, which is obviously the 61 key version, and maybe the Carbon8 M, which is the module version, a little bit later, because that seems to be the way that those instruments go. But they're very well made. They're proper like metal chassis, and they've got this compressed bamboo end cheeks, which kind of have a feel of plastic about them, but they're completely environmentally friendly.
Is it something that interests you, Robbie? Is this something you'll be getting?
I don't know, because I'm not entirely sure that I want this sound. It's a nice thing, but it didn't. I mean, the Argon appeals to me more, and the Cobalt even more than that. They are both incredible sounding synths. When I played with this one, and to be fair, when I played with it, it wasn't fully completed, so things might have changed, and it might kick me in the danglies and go, "Oi, buy me now." But look, they're great synths, and if you're looking for something incredibly digital, this is kind of it. It has a great sound, great build quality.
Might be worth trying to get one to review. I'm going to see if I can sweet talk someone into letting me nick one for a week or something, because it's just been so long. It's been so long.
I need to speak to Christian and see if there's anything available. A lot of people have been saying, "Oh, it's more expensive than the others." Yeah, it's a sign of the times. I mean, this has been at least 2 years, probably more than maybe 3 years since the last one. And of course, we've had COVID, and we've had a company go almost bust. So I think 835 from 650 from the Argons and the Cobalts. It's a little bit of a jump, but it's not a massive one. And they're very good quality. Very good quality. So
that quality, that quality matters. That quality does matter. I am probably going to look at the Cobalt, because it does strike me as being a good thing. Although I've got to say, after last week and the multi-poly mono
called multi-poly,
that's. I know it's the same kind of form factor as the others, but I was really, really, really impressed by that. That's kind of made me go a little. I have to say, I do like it a lot.
So there we go. Go and order Cobalt. Sorry, Carbon.
Carbon.
I wish I'd named it something a little bit more different, if you know what I mean.
They should sell it from that venue in London, or all over the country, the O2. Then you'd have CO2.
I haven't got it, have I?
No, you haven't got it.
No. Moving swiftly on, we have the news that there is a company. When I say company, I'm not entirely sure how many people work for this company. It might just be one person. But an organisation who call themselves Ensure Sound let me just put this on screen. They have announced that they've completed work on a new project where they have completely cloned an Oberheim Matrix 1000. They used CEM3396 chips. They also the AS3397D, which is a modern equivalent. That's an adapter. It can be used for that as well. They've posted some pictures of 3D renders, and they're promising more pictures of the real thing fairly soon. But they've completely redesigned the board, but this is an exact clone, so they say, of the Matrix 1000. Of course, the Matrix 1000 was kind of like a Matrix 6 in a 1U rack, so you didn't have all of the wonderful manipulation available to you, but you did have some of those brilliant Oberheim Matrix sounds in a 1U rack bat, and they were very what's the word, thought of highly by many people. So there's no signs of any price, there's no signs of what this thing will kind of look like, other than some of these circuit boards that have been developed. But Ensure Sound assure us that this will run the exact firmware. I don't know about the legalities of that, but it will run the exact Matrix 1000 firmware, including, so they say, the Torntech firmware upgrade, which added a whole bunch of CC functionality. So, it looks like it's going to be an interesting thing. Any thoughts on this, Kent, from somebody who might fix a few of these over this time?
Yeah, I mean, this is a trait. I mean, this is two camps of thought really at the same time. But we're getting these clones, and they're using modern day equivalents when necessary to achieve the product. But surely this is a point where an opportunity to take that original thing and just expand on it more.
Yeah.
Right.
Fair point.
We have much better, faster RAM these days. They could have been designed so it doesn't have to have a coin battery in it for memory backup and stuff like this, and just do more with it. So instead of you go, oh look, here you go. Here's the closest we can get to the Matrix 1000. But you go, no, here's a Matrix 1000, but it also comes with all of this as well.
Yeah.
You've seen this with a lot of clones now. They just stop and you go. So it's just it's just a copy of that thing from 40 years ago. Whereas 40 years ago, if you showed them half the stuff that was available today, you go, oh, can we put that in it? And that's what everybody be screaming for now in the clones.
Yeah.
So
I
just wish they go a little further with it. Do you know what I mean?
I get the feeling this is just like a one-man band thing. So maybe this is just like step one along a longer roadmap that might see exactly what you've just said. So let's get the Matrix 1000 done. Then we can see if we can make. I don't know. I'm just thinking out loud, but
yeah.
I know.
Well, you could, you do that, and you got right, and just make more for it. Have it doing more stuff, explore more areas with it, and take it.
Yeah.
So you can literally go, yes, I have a Matrix 1000. Look, this is it in its Matrix 1000 kind of environment. Boom, boom, boom. Look, yay! Oh, the romance, right? And then, but it can also boom do all this as well.
The romance.
Well, it is, isn't it? It's what it's all about at the end of the day.
Thing is, Ken, I mean, a couple of things he has done. The first thing he's done, well, three things, major things he's done. He's tidied up the circuit board so that all the crossing track, that's all been tidied. So it's a lot easier to, it's a lot more logical in the way it's laid out. The second thing is he's got the components, the sockets, so that you can use modern or the original voice chips, the CEMs if you wish, or the modern equivalents if you wish, which are cheaper. And thirdly, the firmware update by making it what it is, putting in the new firmware update means that for the first time probably, or not for the first time, but with this you can actually now interact with MIDI CCs. So the one thing we've got used to with these kinds of things is having external boxes and or control surfaces that allow us to dial in and actually do the editing and get to stuff. That's with the original Matrix 1000, that was completely unworkable. Completely. Now it's workable, and if it is workable and it's faster, which it does appear to be, they've done something with the firmware, the latest firmware. If that's the case, then you can make almost anything talk to it, which means you can build whatever interface you want. You can put it in a case if you want, tie a keyboard to it. There's all sorts of things you could do because it's DIY.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing, yeah.
I kind of, I understand what you're saying about, well, if you've got this far, why didn't you take it a bit further and fix the things that could have been fixed or expanded upon it? But that's not something that's beyond the ken of people doing this, and it's the kind of thing that I suppose if you do it for the first time and you're not familiar with this, they're going to come and see you and you're going to shout at people at the door, screaming at clouds, don't bring your DIY shit here. But the second thing is people will start to learn. And that's only a good thing. That's a good thing. If for no other reason than once they've learned that they should never have touched it in the first place, you can then charge them more for doing the things that they do want you to do. But I like this. I like the idea of it, and I'd not put it in a.
Oh, yeah, same here. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not using this. It's not this particular thing that I have a problem with. It's just generally when clones are being done, and they stop.
Mm-hmm.
You go, there you go. There you go. So if you do a clone of something that had a dreadful menu diving problem back in the 90s, and you bring it out today, that's the romance, because you could design it in such a way where you don't have to do all that menu diving anymore. But nope, there it is, faithfully reproduced again.
But with better CC control, so you can real-time control it. That's a big plus.
Mm.
I mean, I get where you're coming from as well, but I think it's an interesting. We'll find out how much it is, and then we'll either go, oh yeah, or we'll go, because you've got to buy all the other components yourself. That's the other thing. You've got to buy the components yourself. This doesn't come with everything complete, and there's no option to get it built. So it's just the board. So it depends how much it's going to be.
Indeed. We shall find out soon. We're following them, see what happens. But an interesting little thing, nonetheless. Maybe we wouldn't have spoken about it had we not been so light on the news today. But there we go. That's where we are.
There is a board available.
It's an Oberheim. It's an Oberheim sounding module. It's the same design. That's got to belong on the show. Why wouldn't it be?
Indeed.
I think it's a good thing to cover.
And as Dr. Mike Metley pointed out, which was quite interesting, Oberheim has recently renewed the trademark for the word expander. Make of that what you will.
So they've expanded the trade. Oh.
Stop it. So there's that, which is interesting.
Really got to get that tumbleweed video back.
I know, yeah. Before we move on to the next item, Glenn Diamond, thank you very much indeed. Happy birthday to Keith Emerson tomorrow. £10 donation. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. We've also had two things from the wonderful Scott McCauley of the eponymous Scott McCauley Sounds. Not only has Scott McCauley become a YouTube member, thank you very much indeed for that, he's also chucked £10 in the bin as well. Thank you very much. Much appreciated, Scott. Scott, I am really, really looking forward to your Polyroot 12 sound library, which you keep teasing relentlessly, and it's making me go, give it to me now, I need it. So I'm really looking forward to that. So keep us posted, and we'll feature it on here. I absolutely guarantee you that, and we'll give proper demonstrations and all. Thank you. But thank you for your membership. It is much appreciated. Thank you for your donation. And to Glenn too. Don't forget also, thank you to Peter James Stephen, who is late to the party, but that's okay, not too late. You haven't missed much. His auction for his Pac-Man jacket that he was wearing at some of the Pro Synth Network events that we were part of this year. That is available. It's a 48R, I believe, is the right size. Current bid on that is £50, and apparently Peter says he'll match whatever somebody pays for. I don't know if there's a level on that, so I don't want to sort of commit him to too much. But if you want that jacket, pop over to our Facebook page and outbid the current bidder, which I think is 50 of your British pounds, and all of the money will go to the Bob Moog Foundation, because
and I'm adding 50 quid to that as well.
There we go.
I said that last week. I was going to just put it in as a bid, but I figured it might put people off. So no matter what you do, I'll be putting 50 quid in. Stephen will match it. They need the funds. Come on, people.
That's it.
Come on.
And of course, talking of which, and by the way, if you want to see what that jacket looks like, here it is, being worn by Peter himself next to the legend that is Dave Rossum. So there we go. That's the jacket. It's currently, say, 50 quid. Come in and bid on that, and you could be wearing a rather cool jacket and knowing that you've supported the Bob Moog
Foundation. Do you know
if
those things actually moved all over the jacket? Cool. That would sell in a second. I'd have that now.
That'd be cool, wouldn't it? Talking really of the Bob Moog Foundation, as we have done frequently over the last few weeks, with good reason, of course.
Really? Why is that?
That is because they were running this raffle that we obviously we knew about and were promoting, and here it is. This was the Peter Gabriel signed Mini Moog. The raffle closed a few days ago, and today they announced the winner, and I'm delighted to say that. Oh no, it wasn't me. It was. I tried. It was Adrian Stoger. I hope I pronounced that correct, Adrian. I don't know if you watched the show, but Adrian, who is from Berlin in Germany, has won that mini Moog. So that will be winging its way to you fairly soon, I am sure. And you're getting a bit of a doozy. So, yeah, enjoy that one. But congratulations to Adrian. And that is an incredible piece of kit. And if you want to see it and hear it in action, go and check out the videos on this very YouTube channel. You will find that demonstration. Andy had done some wonderful presenting work, and of course we mustn't forget him down there who made it sound and look just like it just come out of the factory. So
it sounds
well done,
amazing.
you guys, and thanks for all of that. So
really does.
Yeah, there we go. Never mind, my dream for a mini Moog goes on.
My dream for that mini Moog goes on.
Oh, hey, our cunning linguist has told me that my pronunciation was very good. And as we all know, Andy teaches and lived in Germany for many years. And but he's also rather gutted that it wasn't him. It's never him. He's never won a raffle. Well, with that attitude, you never will.
I could give you a ruffle. Next time I see, I could give you a ruffle. Would that help?
We'll give you something. Absolutely.
Something like that.
Now, I'm wondering if this next donation has been delivered simply because they do not observe daylight savings time in Perth, Australia, because Randy has just donated 30.99 AS, or Australian dollars, as they call them. Thank you so much, mate.
That's fantastic. Thank you.
We love Ramsey. We love his show. And, of course, for everyone that watches Ramsey's show on a Saturday, if you're in the UK, things will have changed slightly. And then if you're in the US, they'll change next week. Because Perth do sensibly, very sensibly, do not obey. They don't obey daylight savings time over there, Cobber. That was a terrible accent.
Is he Welsh?
Sorry.
That was Welsh, wasn't it?
It was Welsh, wasn't it?
That wasn't Welsh, boy.
I like the keep up the awesome work.
Yeah.
Work. Sorry.
Trust me.
Keep up the awesome ranting and shaking fist at clouds, old men.
That's it.
It's hardly work, mate.
Thank you, mate, for that. That's much appreciated. So don't forget, go and watch Randy. He's fills in Saturday lunchtimes, really nice. And of course, now we've shifted the clocks. I don't think it clashes too much with football that kicks off at 3 p.m. in the UK on Saturday.
All I know is it stops just in time before the rugby starts.
Well, whatever shape your balls are.
The more rugby shaped than football.
Randy's show is a great way to lead up to that, and then I generally have both of them on at the same time. I have this unnerving ability to be able to listen to two things and understand what they're doing. So yeah,
thus Kent and me on this show.
Exactly. Yeah.
I had trouble listening to one thing. It was a problem.
Go and watch Ramsey next week, and thank you for your donation. It is much appreciated. I think 30 Australian dollars in British pounds is what, 15 quid?
17 pence.
Oh yeah, the exchange rate.
About 17 pence. But go
look,
and watch Ramsey.
But 17 pence is 17 pence more than we had the other day.
Love his show. Love that show. It's a good thing.
Indeedy do. Next week, or actually tomorrow's show, there's going to be lots of modular on there, so plenty of snooze time for me in between, the interesting bits.
Why have you got it in for modular? Why?
No, modular's got it in for me.
Yeah,
they started it.
Modular's good.
They started it. I'll finish it.
There. Let's not go there.
Anyway, how are we doing? We've killed 40 minutes so far. We've only got another. An hour and 20 to go, so I think we might kind of get. I've got some really nice space fillers, which we'll do. We'll do the first one shortly, but let's do another piece of news. Let's see. We'll get rid of that one. Let's do something really silly, okay? Because we are being a bit silly at the moment. Let's do this one because this is delightfully silly, and I expect everyone to go out and buy some of this right now. Hey, the Pet Shop Boys. Okay, brilliant. Love the Pet Shop Boys. Absolutely adore the Pet Shop Boys. They can do no wrong in my eyes. And they're celebrating 40 years because 1984 saw them release their first single, the original version of West End Girls. In fact, they probably released a couple of other things. One More Chance, I think, was probably their first release, but it all kind of started happening in '84. So to celebrate this, they're creating a range of products to celebrate, and the range is being called Pet Shop Boys since 1984. And the first product in the range is nothing less than a fine bone china tea set with a special Faro designed sticker around the top of, and there's gold plating involved in here, and it's made by Duchess China, who've been making quality bespoke fine bone china for over 135 years. Get a load of the prices though.
Looking at those prices, I wonder how.
Yeah, opportunity. Yeah, thank you. There you go. Man with beards got it. Let's make lots of money. Tish. Nice one. But yeah, this is look, Pet Shop Boys, tongue-in-cheek, quintessentially British. Let's start off our anniversary campaign with a fine bone china tea set, where just 2 cups and 2 saucers will set you back 250 nicker. And if you want the whole set, it's 600 quid. I'll stick with my ProSynth Network mug. Talking of ProSynth Network mugs, guess what, everyone? You can buy a ProSynth Network mug for £11 and 5 pence. Look at that. Who needs that? And look, you can have it in different colours as well. Again, I thought of Keith from Watford. Here's the 2-tone mug with the orange handle and the orange inside. Or you can go for the more traditional ProSynth Network red. And you can have them, look, you can have them in 11-ounce and 15-ounce sizes. How about that? Get a load. So if you like your coffee large, you can have it with orange. And if you want different colours, just let me know and I'll put those up as well. But I started with 3 for the time being.
I'm so sorry, viewers. We didn't realise used cars would be on here as well.
Who needs that? Who needs that?
Do you know what? It's so ridiculous, but I think it's brilliant that they've done it. I think it's absolutely brilliant.
It's funny. Somebody says they need a 32-ounce. Okay, I'll look into it. I will look into it. But yeah, honestly, seriously though, if you have any requests for merch, and the most popular one so far is dust covers for keyboards, and unfortunately, right now, this supplier doesn't do them. But I am going to look into it. In fact, if Ian J. Cole is in the chat, which I did think I saw his name fly by, I know he knows somebody who makes dust covers, so maybe he can send me a message with some details, and we can maybe have a look into getting some of those made up. We do mouse mats, Rosgray 801. We do have mouse mats. We also have desk mats as well. There he is. Ian is there. So yeah, please, Ian, I think you do know somebody who makes covers. So there you go. Anyway, Pet Shop Boys tea sets available from petshopboys.co.uk right now for just
tell Robbie you'll buy shit. Just say, yeah, I'll buy shit. I'll buy stuff, please.
Should we see if anybody's bought something since I've been shilling our own stuff?
Go on. We have to know now. Let's have a quick look.
Yes.
Wow.
Somebody has bought something, and I can actually have a look. I can see who's bought it.
Was it the signed Bible?
The signed PSN Bible.
Yeah.
To the gentleman that bought a vest top at 7:30. I'm not going to put your name out in public unless, of course, you want to out yourself on the chat. But thank you. That's very generous of you. Really, really appreciate that. That is superb. Very nice. Lovely. Right. I'm just so glad that we're actually able to tick that box for people now, because we've been getting so many people asking. So, and actually, what I'm also going to do, we will move on shortly, but I am going to be bringing some stock to the shows that we're attending next year. So if you come to a show and you want to buy a T-shirt or a hoodie or a mug or maybe some pin badges and stickers, we will have those there. So we will be getting it. Anyway, there we go. Bored Andrew enough, so he's now reading the book. Let's move on to what are we? 1:45. Shall we do our first Synthspirations? Our inaugural.
Oh, yeah, I've been looking forward to this.
Okay, well, we've got 2.
Yeah.
And this one came in kind of last minute, but he had approached me before and said, I'm going to do one. Can you please? And I need to do this one because it's kind of, it's time appropriate. It's 24 hours too late. But we had a mystery person send in their Synthspirations video. And if anybody is not aware of what Synthspirations is, which we announced last it was last week. Let me just run the promo video for you, and then we'll have our first Synthpiration. So here's the promo, and it also includes the email address where you need to send the link for us to download your video. But here's the promo. We want to know what music inspired you to make music with synthesizers. Be it an album, single, or an entire artist's body of work, we want you to tell us why it inspired you, and given that we're a synth show, which instruments used on that album really made an impact. All you need to do is film yourself talking about your synthspiration for a few minutes, and we'll feature it on the show and discuss it. Send your video clips along with your name or handle to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com using a file sharing service like WeTransfer, and you could feature on a ProSynth Network live show soon. There we go. that bloke does the voiceovers rather good, isn't he?
He's very good.
He could do that for a living.
Does he do any merch at all? Does he?
I wonder. We'll have to.
Does he do any selling?
Oh, I've just had. Why didn't I think of this? Synthspirations t-shirts.
Gotta be done.
All right, there's my project for the weekend.
Okay.
So Synthspirations. Guys, I'm going to ask you to mute your microphones because only when the video starts, just because the way I'm having to show these videos is not from within the system, it's without this, and it doesn't automatically mute the microphone. So
okay,
if you could just do that, that would be great. So we had this mystery one sent in to us from, it's mystery, so we don't really know. But here is our very first Synthspirations with their albums. Here we go. Good, huh?
That's very good. Unmute yourself, Kent. That was very good.
I like that. So that's been sent in to us by a mystery viewer who promised me that, and unfortunately, because the show is a day after, it would have been great if the show was actually on Halloween. But look, we're a day late. But that was, as many people have said in the chat, like this is ticking all of the boxes, and this is setting the bar far too high. So yes, Mr. Myers or whoever you are. Even Wagyu says, I don't think this inspiration will ever be topped. I hope that it will be, but we're not demanding that level of production quality. Okay, he's a cameraman and everything.
Can I just check something? Do we? If I take a guess at who the mystery person is,
I've been sworn to say
was it actually Ty? Was it Ty or Hans? It was one of them, wasn't it? It was one of them.
No, they wouldn't have needed a mask.
Too hairy for Ty.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. Or the Chuckle Brothers. That's my last.
Indeed.
That's my last.
But listen, that was great. And let's just talk about some of the albums. And there were some great Italian horror composers in there as well. But let's just go through. Let's bring this back onto the screen. Let's see, can we do this properly with us on the screen as well? No, let's do that one. There we go. So, Jerry Goldsmith, The Omen. Well, of course, Jerry Goldsmith, big synthesizer user over the years. I don't know. I mean, I haven't done my research on this because this did come in last minute. So I don't know how many synthesizers might have been used on The Omen, but it's definitely this person's sonic inspirations. There was one before that, wasn't there? Where are we? Oh, of course, The Exorcist. I mean, that's a great soundtrack. Yeah. Various artists. What else did we have? We had Goblin, Suspiria, which is a fantastic film as well as a soundtrack. This, by the way, this person is very much into their soundtracks, so that might actually give people a clue as to who this is. He's a regular viewer on the show, I'll give you that much. Zombie, again by Goblin. What else did we have? We had Daughters of Darkness. Do like their obscure soundtracks, I'll give them that much. Classic Hammer Horror, various artists. Anybody used to watch Hammer House of Horror on ITV late at night?
Of course.
It used to be on a Friday night. There was always one Hammer Horror film on, and we always used to watch it because it was
great
part
stuff.
Part of the thing, wasn't it?
Lost Themes 1 and 2, John Carpenter. I mean, if there's a synthesizer nut that loves making horror films and soundtracking horror films, it's John Carpenter, and Lost Themes are just some brilliant albums.
Yeah.
So yeah, go and check out John Carpenter's recent work as well as his previous stuff. It's just incredible. Tubular Bells, although it didn't kind of get a mention there, but Tubular Bells, of course, Exorcist. What else was there? There was Frizzi tu Fulci by Fabio Frizzi. Then, of course, there was Paura. Oh no, that's after that. Tonight She Comes was the next one, and then there was Paura, which is a collection of Italian horror music, and the follow-up, Pensione Paura, by Adolfo Weitzman. And that was their collection. So some very interesting stuff, some very obscure stuff that some of that I've not heard. So I'm going to check that out. Soundtracks, though, it's one of those things, when you get into it, it's a real rabbit hole, particularly with electronic stuff. Do you know Titanic was the soundtrack to that was almost entirely synthesized? There you go. Little known fact.
Okay.
James Horner, wasn't it? James Horner.
Yeah. I think it was James Horner. Yeah.
A lot of you listened to it because I went and bought both soundtrack albums. I was that impressed with it on mini disc. Still got them. Yeah. So some
Someone
good
had
stuff. Yeah, absolutely.
The thing is, I think for an awful lot of people that use these things, one of the things that happened very early on was they blended in. There was of course the just out and out synth albums, but in the very very early days, those synth albums were generally speaking trying to do impressions of acoustic instruments like Wendy and Bach and all those things. So there's always been that association between essentially orchestral and and synthesizers. Always been that, and therefore with soundtracks, it's pretty difficult to not make that association. And there are so many soundtracks that have that, and there's a lot of albums which aren't for films but which sound like soundtracks. They, the eponymous. The eponymous concept albums, man. One of which is a huge influence on me, Patrick Moran's Story of I, which feels like it has a story and it feels very grand and has so many different synths on it, including the 2500. So I'm not surprised by this, and once you get into these genres, different people will go different ways with it, and clearly all the things he was choosing there, they have that sort of similarity about them. They have that those influences. So that was a good first one, really good first one.
So the person who sent that in, I'm sure they're watching. Thank you. I've already said thank you lots, but thank you for that one. We've got another Synthspirations, a little bit more, should we say, toned down. The sort of thing, I guess, that I thought we'd be getting. So please don't think that Michael Myers is the bar. You can come under the bar, well under the bar. It's fine. We just want some stuff to talk about.
Thing is, I don't think Kent has any film at all, or any film composer that he venerates enough to have got into synths.
No, he hates film
soundtracks. He doesn't like soundtracks at all, do you, Kent?
No. I'm into Trappist funk.
Trappist Funk Monks. There's a band name, isn't it?
Traffic Monk, innit? Yeah, wicked.
Innit? On the one.
Yeah.
Should we get back to some news? This is breaking news. We've got to thank Robert Fat Dust Hex for this one, because he posted this to me, I don't know, about half an hour before the show went live. So really, I haven't had a chance to do any research. But apparently this is a leak. Apparently this isn't coming out until tomorrow, so they say. That's what I've been told anyway. And this is new from Dreadbox. Dreadbox have got a new synth, and it's called the Artemis. And it's a desktop 6-voice analog synthesizer. Ignore the cable kit bit here. This is just craft music, I believe, in America. And a few other retailers have dropped this. So this is G-Bass. Also, they're in Chicago. So they've got it up there for $13.99 as just the standalone box, and I believe here in the UK you can get it for $1,099, but not yet. Apparently this is something, Perfect Circuit put it up to, lots of people are putting this up. So what is this? Well, it's a 6-voice desktop polyphonic analog synthesizer, which looks a bit like this. There you go. There's the front panel there. So let's deduce, because we have nothing to go on. I do have a little list of specs. It's dual VCO with wave shaping, pulse width modulation, and FM. One subwave and noise generator. 24 or 12 dB super creamy and chartered. I don't know what that means. Chartered low pass resonant filter with keyboard tracking. Overdrive and oscillator noise FM. One high-pass filter, 2 ADSR envelopes, one dedicated to the VCA and one for the low-pass filter. 640 presets, 10 banks of 64 each. 2 polyphonic LFOs with BPM sync, master stereo field spread. 6 full stereo sine vibes effects built in. Distortion, bit crush, modulation effects, including chorus and ensemble. A polyphonic sequencer. Arpeggiator is MPE compatible and will respond to polyphonic aftertouch as well as regular aftertouch. I'm not entirely sure how accurate those details are, to be honest, because I'm looking at it and thinking I don't see some of the stuff they're talking about. So, look, take from this what you will. I guess we'll know more tomorrow, because apparently Dreadbox have teased some news on Saturday, the 2nd of November. Dreadbox have...
Didn't we have them one of their units on last week?
Last week, no.
A week before?
No, I think the last Dreadbox unit we talked about was the Murmux, which was around May time, because that kind of debuted at Superbooth, I believe.
I think the Murmux came out. The last literally.
The Murmux is out.
Weeks.
Yeah, but no, I don't remember a Dreadbox.
This looks really, really similar to something else we've had on. I mean, literally in the last.
But it looks like an interesting. It doesn't look. What I like about this is it's very simple. On the surface, it looks very... Now, what then bothers me is if you look on the top right-hand corner here, underneath the name, there is a little screen with some menu buttons. So I wonder, and there's a kind of like a dial there. So I wonder how much menu diving, because what was worrying me is I was going through that spec list, and I'm thinking, where is some of this stuff? But I've got no reason to doubt them. Wood sides, apparently, which will be sold separately as an add-on, but no prices on those yet, because we all know that wood end cheeks make something sound more analogy. But this is all we've got. We don't have any audio or any video or any other information other than what I've just read out to you from a retailer's website and this image.
I'm not surprised, really, considering the picture. Even the picture is a render.
You think this one's a render?
Oh, I know it is. I know what to look for. You can see it in the reflections in the knobs. We have knobs at different directions, but the same amount of light shadowing going on. That's a CGI'd picture.
That was the best quality picture I could find, because all the others are quite small. But anyway,
this
it is
does
what it
look
is.
very similar to the Murmux. It does, slightly different. It's using more sliders than knobs, but it looks it's looking pretty similar. I'm just looking at the Murmux now, and we did mention it, and I can't remember why, either last week or the week before. Have to hear it. We don't know anything about it, do we? We can probably talk more about it next week. But interesting.
Yeah,
interesting
absolutely.
thing.
Yeah,
there's probably a the finished mock-up of her, and they'll be manufacturing them like crazy to get them out for, was it January?
Yeah, and they never knowingly put out anything that's not rather wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like all the spec that I read out is because it's being repeated in various places. So I imagine that it is pretty bang on the money. But I want to hear it. I want to hear it. I really do, because the Murmux sounded great. Although it wasn't quite my cup of tea, it did sound very, very good. And Dreadbox have got a heck of a reputation. So there's no reason why they shouldn't sound good. So keep your eyes and peepers peeled. Maybe Rands will be able to get to feature that on his show tomorrow, because hopefully it will come out in time, or the information will be released in time. If not, then we'll be covering it next week, I hope. But there you go. And let me just get rid of that picture, because I know you're missing our gorgeous faces. There you go. So yeah, Dreadbox Artemis. Thank you to Robert for sending us that info, because I did not see that coming through anywhere. But it looks like it's going to be 1,099 of your British pounds and 1,300 roughly in US dollars. So yeah, and looks like Craft Music in America are doing kits with, I believe there's a bunch of cables and also an Arturia controller as well, a key step. There we go. So look, new stuff. We'll hopefully have more on that next week. Let's see. Let's talk about some. Oh, here's some very good news. Something that Andy and I can attest to its quality and everything. This is the news, he says. Why have I done this? Sorry, I was just about to click the button and it just disappeared. But this is the news that our friends at Sonicware have finally put the ELZ_1 Play into full production. So you might remember that this was done on a Kickstarter through Dr. Yu Endo's personal project page. So they did small batches, and all of those got fulfilled eventually. It did take a little while. There was some slight production issues. But all of those orders have now been fulfilled, and Sonicware have now added this to their roster as a permanent member of their product catalogue. The ELZ1 Play, it will also be available in the all black edition, which is what I think Andy and I have both got. It's exactly the same, except all the keys are black, which makes it useless in the dark. But it's a wonderful thing. So now, if you were hankering after one of these, $599 for the regular one, $629 for the all black edition. If you've already got one, though, there's some new firmware. The version 1.1 firmware has been added that has added in 2 new filters, 3 new three new ambient effects processors?
3 new ambient reverbs, essentially, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Loads of bug fixes and little tweaks to performance stuff.
Transposition, you can transpose now.
Key transpose as well, and all that kind of stuff. And that's so all existing ELZ1 Play owners can download that for free and upgrade right away. As of today, it's all available on their website. There was a little clip that I wanted to play, and I'll only be able to play the first sort of 20 seconds of it because it's from Chris Lodi's superb tutorial video, which goes on for about an hour or so. So obviously we're not good. Well, actually, we could play that and go home, couldn't we? Really?
Yeah, we could. Yeah, let's do that. I can go have beer.
But let me just bring this into the fold. Where is it? Oh no, I've got it here on YouTube. Duh. Right, here we go. Get rid of you.
Mute
and we'll share you. Well, no, it's only 20 seconds. Here we go. Let's have a quick listen to this. And there we go. That's all you're getting, because it is an hour and a half long, that video. But just so we give, there he is. There's Chris, wonderful Chris, brilliant guy, knows his stuff, and he will take you through the whole ELZ1 experience, all the oscillators, all the effects, everything. It's done very, very well in a kind of
loop pop style. I've got it here if you'd like to see it, but I don't think we potentially really need to, do we? But I've got it here. There we go.
Let's see if we can. There we go.
I can turn it. Well, I'll just do this off its internal speakers, but essentially it looks a bit shitty, but. It's got the new reverbs, so I don't think you can see it because I've not got this set up terribly well, but the new reverbs are astonishingly lush, and that's just coming out of these speakers, so it's sounding a bit weirdy woos. The transposition is excellent. The new filters, there are a load of different ones. So there's a peaking EQ, bandpass, I think, low EQ, high EQ, notch filter, all of which are really good. They all work, and they just add something to it. So, and I've fallen in love with this machine, and I think they've created some demos on the site now, where they show you how to use it as an ambient.
Yeah, there's a half hour demo on there. There's also I don't know if you managed to grab it yet, but there's also a half hour. There's also a brand new sound bank that exploits all the new features that is available to buy. But yeah, they're wonderful things, and
they are wonderful things.
Very good for making music on the move.
Yeah, I love it.
So there you go, Sonicware ELZ1 Plays now fully available for general sale. Anybody can go and buy one. You can buy it direct from their website. There's free shipping to the US and the UK. So go and fill your boots, but be aware that the prices quoted on the website may not include taxes at the local level, so you might have to pay some import duties when you bring them in if you order direct from Sonicware. If you order from a retailer, that stuff is generally factored in.
And they're also still they can only, because of the way these are built, and they are built like tanks.
Oh yes,
they're brilliant. Because of the way they're built, they're only making a few a month. So, don't patience, but they are really worth. Yeah, I know. It's the lighting here.
It's what he's not been doing to his keyboard.
Yeah, but
it's not actually that bad. Well, no,
it's dangerous having it so close to that keyboard. Actually, you could think you're playing a track, and you actually write a very racist, offensive email to somebody.
Yeah, all right then. Well, that's a good thing to know. I'll try to avoid doing that.
Anyway, moving swiftly on, as we do, Sonicware ELZ1 Play available now for general sale. Let's talk about something else. What should we talk about? Oh, I know what we can do. Are you feeling thirsty? Well, then why not treat yourself to a Proceed Network water bottle? 17-ounce stainless steel water bottle with our logo emblazoned on it. It's available in black with white logo and white with black logo.
Shameless.
Absolutely shameless. There you go. There's the other one.
Buy shit. Everyone,
Get it now.
buy.
Always got to stay hydrated. So what better way to do it than with a ProSynth Network water bottle? Get some stickers while you're at it as well. Look at that. I'm going to get some of these. I'm going to stick them all over my flight cases. Look at that.
To be honest, I'm feeling a little chilly. I wish I had something to cover my head.
So you want something to cover your head? Or we can do that. We can do the ProSynth Network cuffed beanie.
Oh, it's for your head.
It's for your head. Look at that.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Look at that with the logo embroidered. Look at that. It's fantastic.
Oh, look at that.
And it's available in a range of colours, including dark grey, black, heather grey. I used to go to school. They're called navy, spruce, and this one it's great for on the slopes because then you'll disappear. Your head will disappear, and you won't be able to see your head. Somebody's mentioning about a ProSynth Network thong. Do you know what I can do? I can actually do a ProSynth Network bikini with a logo. Yeah.
I want Kent in one of those for the Christmas show.
Oh, I thought it was getting me anaglyph thong.
We're gonna try and do some anaglyph stuff. Somebody mentioned one of these.
One
of these. The ProSynth Network mouse mat.
Oh,
everybody needs a mouse mat, don't they? If you don't need a mat,
say posing pouch. Well, that's.
Well, that's good. That's good. So
I think he's just sold himself.
So buy shit. That's just what we're saying.
Yeah.
Just buy shit.
Who bought you?
Yeah, somebody bought me. Look at that.
Someone bought you.
I know. I hit back on the wrong window. These ones, I expect these to be flying out the store very soon.
Slick as weasel shit.
I've never seen a weasel shit.
It's slick.
So they say. There you go. These
They
are
do
these
in
are rather
private.
cool. You can accessorize any outfit that you like with the ProSynth Network button set. Available in two sizes, 1 1/4 inch and 2 1/4 inch, in 5 unique and individual designs. Look at that.
Can I get a T-shirt with "I used to work for Emu" printed?
You can, but I suppose
Oh, all right.
we could do. Yeah, I mean, if people want to buy it, if people want to buy it,
about it.
we can do that.
PSN Mankini, love it.
Yeah. In in honour of the upcoming Oasis reunion, the bucket hats, we've got those in. Yeah, well, it's not this one.
Thank you, Mike.
It's not this one.
Thank you, Mike.
I quite like the look of this denim jacket, to be honest. I think that's quite nice. Look at that.
I like the look of the leather one, but they only do up to normal size person.
Yeah, it's not leather, it's faux leather. It's polyurethane leather, apparently. It's 100% polyurethane leather.
I don't want faux leather.
What sort of animal is a foe?
Yeah, quite. I would advise everyone to check out the size guides because, different size. This looks quite nice, the packable jacket. That looks nice. Yeah, loads of things. Loads of things. Anyway, moving on. That's enough shilling of our own stuff for now.
It's 10 minutes. Just wait 10 minutes. It'll come round again.
Should we see if anybody else has bought something? Yes, it's working. You see, this is what? No, this is PSNVC. It's the ProSynth Network shopping channel. That's what we should do.
Oh God, this is just encouraging him.
I know. Anyway, moving on. What have we got? Let's see. We've done the mini Moog raffle, so that's been won. So nobody else can go in there.
Customer demand. See. Although to be honest, I'd only get the E and then the dash on mine.
Should we do something that's kind of modular related?
Yeah, go on then.
Yeah?
God, that would be brilliant.
That'd be amazing, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I've actually got these.
I beg your pardon?
I've got these. This is the synthesizers.com units that are now available for free in VCV Rack 2.0. look at this. So synthesizers.com approached vaultdsp.com and said, would you mind making and modelling some of our units in the VCV Rack format? And they said, yes, of course, we'll do that. And so now you can, this is fully authorised by .com, you can now pack your VCV Rack with a whole bunch of synthesizers.com modules. Virtual, of course, don't cost anything at all. And I think this is a really clever move because VCV Rack on its own is great fun if you want to try modular without having to spend a megaton of money and be swamped with a huge amount of cables like somebody not a million miles below me here. And of course, you can turn it off and it just disappears and it goes away again. So, yeah, but this is a great way. And the fact that .com went to this guy and said, can you please make some of our modules? I think it's a very clever way of getting your brand out there and getting people to get used to the functionality, maybe try a few things and see if it works. And here we go. So you can get this, and it's all free of charge.
And to be honest, their racks, I mean, they're doing proper full size. The real things are proper full size. It's not Euro. it's
Yeah, 5 years, isn't it?
There you go. They're proper full size, and that means all the cabling stuff is not going to be as much of a mare. I have to say, their stuff has always, that Moog tempted me. That kind of thing has always tempted me. Now it's available in in plug-in format. If you read down this article, I'm sure there's a link somewhere. It tells you how he's gone about modelling these, and it's actually fascinating. Or it'll get you to sleep. It's one or the other, but it's fascinating, and I like the sound of their stuff. I've seen quite a lot online. Yeah, it's a really good promo. So how do you get them for free, young Robbie?
So all you got to do is go to VCV Rack, the website, and you need to just sign up for a free account, and you can download VCV Rack 2.0 free. And once you've downloaded the application, you can then visit the library in the browser and just click on each of the modules that you want to add, and you can buy modules, but a lot of them are free. You click on the ones that you want, and then you go back to your VCV Rack application, go to the library tab, and it will synchronize, and all of those units will then appear in your VCV Rack module. VCV Rack free, I believe, doesn't work as a plugin, it only works as standalone. But you can buy a VCV Rack full license, which of course was always the VCV Plus, I think it's called, which was always kind of the end goal, I guess. Gives you unlimited access to their stuff. You don't have to buy anything. Let me just bring that up on screen. There it is, $29 a month, or $19 a month if you do it. Well, equivalent of $19 a month if you do it yearly. Gives you VCV Rack Pro for DAWs, so you can use this in your digital audio workstation other than just being a standalone. And you get all the premium VCV modules, which are one-to-one ports of most Eurorack modules available. So it's a really clever way of experiencing Eurorack without committing to the vast sums of money and cabling required. Even I've got this.
I
don't use it much
because I've got of course the Cherry version of this, which is
of course voltage modular.
Freaking brilliant, I have to say.
Yeah.
But this is interesting.
Yeah.
It'd be really good, wouldn't it, to be able to take this and find a way to plug between these different, between this and the voltage modular. That would be a really interesting thing to be able to do, like people do in the real world.
But it's improved no end. I mean, the way that you can find this stuff used to be you just have to scroll through everything, but now you can filter through premium stuff. You can go to free stuff, open source as well, and you can choose your modules. And if you want them, so as you can see here, if I wanted to add the artificial colors rhythm 1101, I just click the add button, and it's now in my library. Then I just go to VCV Rack and synchronize, and that module will appear. So yeah, it's a really interesting way of just finding out what all these little things do, So if, unlike me, you're interested in modular, but maybe you haven't quite taken the step just yet, this is a really good way of doing it. And I
We want to
wholeheartedly
know more about it.
I wholeheartedly support that, but it's
Yeah.
not my thing. And it's free, mostly. So there you go.
Which is great, yeah.
So yeah, go and experience synthesizers.com modules
Nicely
now
done, sirs.
in VCV.
Very good.
Indeed. Let's see if we've got anything else in the chat that we need to. Oh, I forgot to say that Robert gave us a £5, and that's not why I displayed the news about the Artemis. But he's just a generous old sod. Bless him. And I wasn't ignoring you, mate. It was very busy, and I didn't get around to responding to you, so I apologise. But thanks for the tip there, in both information and cash. That was very, very nice of you. Also, can we also mention that about 20 minutes ago, the auction for the jacket closed, and Danny Vinson has won it. He's donated $50 US. Peter's going to contact you, and then I think he's going to match that, and Andy's going to match it as well. So that'll be 150 quid or so off to the Bob Moog Foundation to help keep them going. So well done to you, Danny, and congratulations. Thank you, Peter, for donating the jacket.
Yeah, Peter, get in touch. Let me know how we do I can just do a direct transfer or something. Just
Absolutely. Let me know. Talking of Peter, first of all, Nick wants branded MIDI cables. Now, that's a good idea.
That's a very good idea.
Maybe branded WIDI. I need to speak to my friends at CME. That's a good idea, Nick. Thank you. All these ideas are very useful, and we will, because Fiona and Kent have been busy making the little PSN desk lamps. We'll be selling those. Well, Fiona has, but I thought credit where credit's due.
Want one.
So we're going to do those, and they'll be sold direct through the shop as well. Lots of stuff to come, and we have the potential, I am told, to do digital sales. So maybe we can design some sound packs, some ProSynth Network sound packs. Also, somebody had an idea yesterday, one of the pubs, that we should do a PSN album
called Reflections
or something. Yes,
it's been done.
Anyway, shall we do another Synthspirations?
Yeah, why not? Go for it.
That's it. We've got some time to kill, and we need to do this one because I want to appreciate the hard work that's been sent in. Before we do it, here's the promo again. We want to know what music inspired you to make music with synthesizers. Be it an album, single, or an entire artist's body of work, we want you to tell us why it inspired you, and given that we're a synth show, which instruments used on that album really made an impact. All you need to do is film yourself talking about your synthspiration for a few minutes, and we'll feature it on the show and discuss it. Send your video clips along with your name or handle to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com using a file sharing service like WeTransfer, and you could feature on a ProSynth Network live show soon. There you go. You can. prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. Don't send us the video, because generally the video files are going to be quite big. So upload it to a service like WeTransfer, or if you've got a box drive or Dropbox or whatever, somewhere where you can just send us a link, then we can download it. That's fine. And that's exactly what our next Synthspirationist, Synthspirationist, or our next Synthspirational individual sent us their video, and it is somebody that is very close to our hearts, who has just sold a jacket for $50. This is Peter James Stephen. He threw this video together. No Michael Myers going on in this one, but just a genuine lover of electronic music, and he's going to be sharing not just one or two or three, but 4 or 5 or 6 wonderful albums to consider. So mute the mics, everyone, and we'll be back in about 6 minutes' time after we've heard from Peter. Whoa, hang on a minute. There we go. Get him started. There we go. You're on.
Hi, Peter James Stephen here. Synthspiration. I grew up in the 70s and 80s. I'm very lucky to have an older brother who's 7 years my senior. So I got to hear music that my friends at school hadn't even dreamed about. Now, he was listening to the Beatles, Yes, 10cc, XTC, the original Genesis, the original lineup of Ultravox, and all sorts of things. And they are real, what I call influences. I think influences and inspirations are two different things. I think you can have influences all the time, no matter what you hear, a new piece of music here or a new piece of music there. Influences for me were Japan, courtesy of my brother, OMD, Human League, Duran Duran, I'm a lifelong fan of theirs, Depeche Mode, New Order, China Crisis, Talk Talk, and they're influences. But inspiration, now that's more powerful. So a real big influence for me was the Human League, and my brother brought back this album on the vinyl. This is obviously my CD version, Travelogue, and it's exceptional. It really is good. I think a standout track for me would be Gordon's Gin. And then this happened. Again, a real influence, especially the follow-up album that Martin Rushent did, which was Love and Dancing, which was just incredible. But for me, to be really inspired to think, I can do this, I can get off my arse and think, this is different. The first real inspiration for me was the first single I bought, which was Happy Talk by Captain Sensible of The Damned. Totally different to what he was doing with The Damned. Brilliant song, but the B-side had a track called I Can't Stand It. And before that started playing, you had this announcer say, and now Captain Sensible will play the Oberheim synthesizer. And that blew me away. That was just an incredible organic sort of sound. It wasn't like the early Human League stuff that I've been listening to with lots of sequences and stuff like that. This seemed natural. This was amazing. And to follow that, my brother passed me another album that he was listening to, Japan, in the shape of this, Gentlemen Take Polaroids. And again, this album was a real inspiration because, again, it was an organic type of sound. It wasn't the, the sequencing and the drum machine. It just made the synthesizer, to me, feel like a real instrument. And I think this had a Prophet Rev 2 literally dueling with an OBX, probably A. And that, to me, the standout track for this, you've got Gentlemen Take Polaroids, obviously, and Taking Islands in Africa. Now, you've got to go and listen to it because it is absolutely amazing to think that this was recorded in 1980. So that was a real inspiration, and that's what really got me started with wanting to use synthesizers in my music. My second inspiration, which really got me started, was listening to Thomas Dolby and his first album, The Golden Age of Wireless. Standout track for me was Flying North. And again, it suddenly was a man who was doing this himself. Yes, he got session players in when he wanted to record and things, but he was doing this himself in his bedroom. And I thought, I can do this. And when he followed up with this album, which was The Flat Earth, then everything sort of clicked into place for me. This was just something I could do. Standout track, well, there's lots of standout tracks, but if you take Screen Kiss, that is, I've actually had the pleasure of talking to Thomas Dolby about this, and Screen Kiss is his favorite track from this album, and it's brilliant. You need to listen to it, and that's what got me started. This was a chap that could do it himself, and it made me want to do it myself, and I did. And by this time, I was in my band in 1985, and I was doing my own recording. So yeah, real inspiration, Thomas Dolby. And I followed him throughout his career, even when he brought out quirky records like this. They're just brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I've kind of followed Thomas Dolby's career, even with his tech, I found a niche market with my Vampire Rack. He found a global market with his polyphonic ringtones. So it's been a great journey, and I still follow, and he is an inspiration to me more than anyone, I would say. So my third inspiration was listening to the radio. I used to work a Saturday job in a music shop in Chippenham called Campbell and Wells, and they had the radio on one afternoon, and a song came on, and it blew me away because it was totally different. It was 1985, and the song was West End Girls, the Stephen Hague version of the Pet Shop Boys. And wow, I needed to know how they made that sound. And that started my emulator journey. And within a year, I had an Ensoniq Mirage. And then by 1989, I had my emulator too. And the rest is history. My sampling obsession carried on from there. And I'm still doing it. So great.
Helps if I unmute the mic first, hey, professionals.
That does help. That does help.
Thank you very much indeed to Peter James Stephen for a very extensive list of synthspirations.
Yeah.
Inspirations, bit.
We've got some time. Let's discuss. Let me bring the video back into stage, and let's just put us
See
beside
the T-shirt.
it. I know, in the box. So where did we started off with? So this Human League going from version 1 to version 2.
Yeah.
Travelogue is a brilliant album. So is Reproduction as well. And I think we can all agree that the Human League's Dare. So after the split, and Phil took the mantle on and took the girls on, and came up along with God, his name's just gone completely out of my head. Martin Russian, sorry.
There we go.
Apologies, Martin. So, yeah, what a brilliant synthesizer album. I think it probably inspired a lot of us back in the day.
Isn't that cover iconic?
Oh, it's absolutely. It is. It's just one of those.
It's really.
It's iconic in every single way. You like that, don't you? You're a bit of a fan of that, aren't you, Kent?
Yeah.
You used to play in the band with a lopsided haircut.
I used to have his haircut.
There you go. See?
Yeah. right down here.
Yeah. So yeah, Human League, definitely a big inspiration for a lot of us here, I am sure. And if you are unfamiliar with the Human League, maybe you are one of the younger generation that watches our show, go and check them out. All of it, well, certainly, the Reproduction, Travelogue, and Dare, and Love and Dancing, which is the remix album from Dare. What else did Peter talk about? Just skip through the video here, and there was, where is it? Have I missed it? Japan, gentleman. There we go. Japan, gentleman takes Polaroids, or gentlemen take Polaroids. Seminal album, seminal band. Richard Barbieri with his Oberheims. Just stunning work. I didn't really get into them until after, when they did the Marauder stuff. I kind of missed out on the early stuff. It was probably a little bit too arty-farty for me at the time. But they kind of caught my eye, particularly with Quiet Life and all that kind of stuff, because it was very, catchy and danceable. And then I think that was my in. I remember when they did Second That Emotion, and those sounds that Barbieri, and then of course Ghosts, which is just epic. So yeah, another good one there for sure. You Japan fans here? Yes.
Yes.
How can you not be?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Good point. Well made. Now the next one. This video doesn't sort of skip very smoothly.
Just to cover that off.
Yeah.
Japan really were groundbreaking in that they did do that thing. They broke away from the mechanized metronomic sort of template that everyone else was using, and just did their thing with performance. Who's the bass player? God,
Mick Kahn.
That's it, Mick Kahn. I worked with him a few times, and Barbieri was just an astonishing player, and between them they conjured up this sound that, as Peter said, was just entirely organic, and suddenly that made all of those things instruments, which is just astonishing.
He has a way with synthesizers, does Barbieri. I interviewed him a couple of years ago, and he's such a nice guy. and so giving of information about how he did stuff, and he's still very much about creating atmospheres and feelings, and not just coming up with a fancy brass patch. He wants to really get in there and create a world with sound. It's just stunning stuff that he's done with those.
And I love the way he moves between atmospheric stuff,
Yeah.
like with Ghosts, and then the core, the little musical pieces which just tie it together. And you think that's genius. How how it was utterly genius.
And he's still doing it today, and with Porcupine Tree, and of course other projects that he has. Really, really good. So next up, of course, we've got Thomas Dolby, who I think if you don't like Thomas Dolby, you need your head looking at. He's just an utter genius. Pete and I went to see him a few months ago in London. He did a small tour, and we went to see him, and he is just still hugely entertaining. But his music is just timeless. It just still works on so many levels. It's brilliant. And of course, Golden Age of Wireless was that. Excuse me. That was the PPG Wave album, or it's what I call that was the one where he used the wave a lot. And then I think Flat Earth was more Fairlight, wasn't it? But he seemed to go through these phases where he'd find something that he could use, and then just used it so very well. And I think there you go. There's Flat Earth, which is a brilliant album. And then of course he also held up there Aliens Ate My Buick. Which is another. I mean, they're all great, and some of his recent stuff is still just. He's a brilliant songwriter, and also he's played with everyone and produced so many. He produced Prefab Sprout. He played on Foreigners albums. He played with Trevor Horn on Duck Rock and others. He played with Bowie at Live Aid. There's some brilliant footage. Actually, Thomas plays at his gigs of him and Bowie at Live Aid. It's just brilliant. He's such an incredibly good musician, very clever man, and of course responsible for musical ringtones as we knew them certainly back in the day. Some really, really good stuff. So thank you very much, Peter, for your choices there, and thank you for sending that in. We're super delighted to have two to kick us off for Synthspirations. All you've got to do, right, if you want to do a Synthspirations video, all you got to do is just sit yourself in front of a camera. Or if you don't want to sit in front of a camera, that's fine. Maybe just put like a PowerPoint presentation together of images. That's fine, and we just have your voice. But just put something down that lasts about 5 minutes or so. It doesn't matter if it's a little less. If it's a little more, we might be able to consider it, or we might be able to edit it down. But anyway, just sit down and tell us which albums, which songs, which bands inspired you. And this is the thing that Peter pointed out there, not so much influenced you, but inspired you, that actually made you want to get out of your chair, go and buy a synthesizer and make music with it. Synthspirations is the name of the game.
Synthspirations, mate.
Make that video or that audio recording to some images. And if you can't do the images, then ask us. We'll be able to throw something together. It's not a problem.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the trailer I knocked together in about 10 minutes. Very simple stuff. You don't have to be a clever sod to do this. So we just want to know what albums, what songs, what artists or bodies of work influenced you and inspired you to make music with synthesizers. And also tell us about the synthesizers that those people were using that maybe you hankered after for 30, 40 years, and eventually now you've got one. That'd be great. So tell us a story.
Well, it's obviously working because we seem to have a new member.
I do, yes. And it's Bradders. It's Bradders. Bradders put a video up yesterday showing new functionality on the S2400. But she still hasn't sent me one.
We need to have Bradders back on again. Talk about cheese, obviously.
Well, yeah,
about
absolutely.
Cheese, Brad. Definitely talk about cheese.
Yeah, but when Brad's got something to say, he'll let us know, and I'm sure when something is ready to go, whether it's Caladan, or the 2400 updates, the DSP cards, the voice cards in Caladan, when he's got some stuff, you and me both, mate. This is why I do live stuff, because then I just make mistakes and we just get on with it. But yeah, we'll get Bradders back on the show because he's a top geezer and he makes wonderful things. and he's a lovely man.
And
Hate
likes
him.
cheese.
And likes cheese, yeah. So thank you to Peter James Stephen and to our mystery Michael Myers for sending in their synthspirations. Send them into prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. Don't actually send the whole video. Send a link for me to download. Otherwise, Google will just say,
I reckon I know who it was. It was Annie Lennox, wasn't it? The Mike Myers. It was Annie Lennox or Kate Bush. It was one of them.
I wish it was. Oh, I wish it was.
That's what I reckon.
Kate Bush apparently doing a new album soon.
Yeah, themed with from horror movie style. That's what you wait when it comes out. You'll find. Yeah, that's what it'll be.
Breaking news, everyone.
What?
Full Bucket Music have just released a brand new plugin. Literally got the email about 5 minutes ago. It was supposed to come out yesterday on Halloween, but it got broke. It's called the Broken Mini, and its features are that it is broken. And it has a resizable user interface with MIDI learn capability. But you must beware of high voltage. You must wear safety goggles and gloves and use at your own risk.
That's getting downloaded right after this show.
So there you go. I have no idea what it is, but it's available now, and apparently it is limited edition. So go grab it now, and then leave Bjorn some money.
Yeah, do leave him some money.
Because he makes brilliant stuff. While you're there, if you haven't got any of the other bits that you see there, go and get them because they're brilliant plugins. They're really, really good. So, breaking news from Full Bucket Music: the Broken Mini is available now for Apple and for Windows, and it is available in VST 2.3, clap AAX formats and audio units as well. There we go. I think, we've got one more topic to cover, and we'll see if we can stretch this one out for 15 minutes. If not, we might do some more shilling for our merchandise. But, what am I saying?
Sorry.
Might.
Sorry, before you... Merchandise? Do we have merchandise?
We have merchandise. But
what merchandise do we have, Robbie?
More on that later. Don't break my flow. Don't break my flow. Let me just before I switch to this website, I have to make sure that I'm properly logged in, otherwise things won't work. Right. Okay. So here we go. This is the Vemia auction. This is Peter Forrest, the wonderful, wonderful Peter Forrest, author of the A to Z of Analog Synthesizers, volumes 1 and 2. Or it's not volumes 1 and 2. It's A to N and N to Z or something like that. Anyway. What does those books, also does auctions, and this is the 59th Vemia auction that kicks off tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time, so that's GMT or UTC or whatever you want to call it, but it's all the same. Kicks off 2 p.m. tomorrow, and there are tons and tons and tons of things. And there's some amazing things in there, which, of course, let's have a quick look at the highlights here at the front page. There is an LM1 that needs complete restoration. It's only £1,520. Or there is this magnificent Oberheim 8-voice, and this is not a 4-voice with a 4-voice expander. This is the full 8-voice. Not many of those around, and it's got a starting price of £64,950. And you'll know that it has been touched by the hands of Spong. At some point in its life. I'm sure it has.
Oh, okay.
It's a tiny one, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, then yeah.
Then yes. There's also a Synthex Mark III, which has got the factory fitted Mini, 4,950. There's a Juno 60 there for just under 1,500 quid. Of course, there's this beautiful, beautiful thing. Let's bring this up. I'm clicking on the wrong page here. This is a full and complete Roland System 700 modular. Which has a starting price of £99,950.
For that, I would have preferred it to have more than just a stock photo of it.
Yes,
from the catalogue.
Indeed. But there it is, in all of its glory. There are some other wonderful things in there. I'm just going to go to I've saved a bunch of stuff in my list. Here we go, personal list. So, kicking off Rob's personal list, as you might expect, there's a Yamaha DX1. Now, this DX1 actually had a starting price of around 70,000 UK pounds. It has dropped. It has a starting price of just 33,353 pounds and 57 pence. That's because of conversions. So it's 40,000 euros, which I think is still a bit too much. But it's there. and it looks in rather good condition, and comes with a pair of Hypersynth 705 cartridges and a breath controller and a flight case, and will be shipped on the pallet. Oh, and there's a couple of foot pedals in there as well. So there you go. There's one of those. What else have we got? There's a Synclavier, a PSMT 3200 with the VPK and all the other gubbins in there. It's a very extensive and expansive system. That has a starting price of just £7,450.
That's tempting.
Which is actually not bad
Fairly.
for one of them. There's a GS2, a lovely Yamaha GS2. That has a starting price of just £6,980. What else? There's some other... we've been talking about emulators. Here's an emulator 2. I think I know who the owner is of this, and I'll... we might be speaking to them next week. Actually, no, sorry, I'm wrong. This is not that one. This one's in Germany. This 5,750 quid. But it is the 2 Plus HD, and it's got the the Gotek, not the Gotek, the Lotharek drives in there as well. So you get all your sounds on that one. What else was interesting? There's a huge FM Rolls-Royce pack. This is actually not bad. I think it's a little bit overpriced myself. So this includes... There is a DX7. You get a D-Tronics DT7 programmer, which is very useful. There is a TX816 and an MV80. Is it 802? The 8-channel mixer, which of course you need with one of these. But there's the D-Tronics DT7 program, and there's a whole bunch of voice ROMs. There's even some breath controllers, I think, in there in the package somewhere. But yeah, that sorry, I just zipped off the page there. That starts at £3,168. It's a lot of FM.
Yeah,
it's a lot of FM. Tears for Fears. Oh, this has got provenance. It used to belong to Manny Elias or Manny Elias. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce his surname. This was Manny's Lin 9000, and it looks in immaculate condition, as used by him with Tears for Fears. That has a starting price of £2,682. There was also a fully functional LM1 with hideaway mods. So Danny's has had Danny's hideaway mods applied to this, which has custom VCA PCBs and the Kenton MIDI retrofit. There's also a full-blown custom PCB sporting MIDI control VCA on every jump channel. Can be switched on or off if required. It's the only one of its kind, apparently. £12,000 starting price.
Well,
you could buy 3 Luma 1s for one of them. But there you go. That's a very nice thing, if that's your bag. This one caught my eye, but I don't know. It's 125 quid starting price. This is an MPC Electronics kit. Not an MPC as in Akai MPC. This was before Akai. 125 quid. I remember looking at those in like 1-2 testing back in the day and thinking, God, I really like that.
yeah.
They did a bigger one as well, didn't they? And they did little add-on side modules like the clap and stuff. You know, yeah.
That's right. He did, didn't he?
Yeah. I remember them.
Yeah. Nice. I like that. One of Yamaha's finest FM modules, TX81Z, from Paddy Kingsland, no less. 125 quid starting price. It's not bad. There's an Udo Super Gemini. I mean, this is literally only just come out. Latest OS, very minimal usage. Starting price of 1,980. So if you're in the market for one of those, that's not
Good
a bad
price.
not a bad way to get on with that. There's a Groove Synthesis Third Wave. Now this I do know the owner of, and we will be talking to him next week. But and more on that in a moment. Groove Synthesis Third Wave keyboard with all the updates, 1,980, which is significantly less than what you'd pay for one of those brand new. What else have we got that was interesting? Got the Lins, we've done the emulators. I'm actually quite interested in this because I've got an O2R mixer and it's in a hulking great box. This would actually save me some space if I bought this, and it's only going for 40 quid, so I'm going to try and see if I can get that. so I can then save a little bit of space. But let's just have a quick look on my second page. I think I had a second page with a few bits on. Oh, PPG Wave, recently serviced with new batteries. It's been updated from a 2.2 to a 2.3, and there's a starting price of £9,000.
£9,000.
Yeah, but that's a beautiful. I still love the PPGs, really, really do. There's a Core Wave Station SR for £350. There's a lovely drumulator. Look at that. I mean, that looks minty. Looks very nice. It's been polished up very nicely. That one has a starting price of £980. And there are a few other bits. There's an SP12 in there which needs restoration, so grab that for £730. There's even a Yamaha VL1. Look at that, in its flight case with all the manuals and the breath controller. How much? Just a mere €5,000 or £4,169. So there you go. But lots and lots of stuff.
And I have to confess, I've got skin in the game with this one.
You have. Let me just go and find, because I think I know roughly where they are.
Oh.
He says. Probably can't find them for love nor money now.
No, probably not.
Oh, CS70M for 11,000.
Oh, Kenton, yeah, 11,000.
Polyfusion, 19,000.
There's the 8-voice in there now.
Yeah, the 8-voice. Yeah, we 60. What did we say it was? 64.
64, 65,
about 65,
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Brad, if you're still there, somebody sell one of your chord bots, mate. For €169. That's in there. Never played with one of those. I really need to play with one. So, yeah, Andy, why don't you tell us what you've got in here, and I'll try and find it.
I've got lots and lots. So I've got a whole bunch of stuff from the EMU Platinum sampler with the RFX card and the 24-bit ins and outs. It's the original development model that I used as the product manager for EMU to develop a lot of the stuff, test it and move it out. There's some unique sound sets in there as well. That's going up. There's a huge number of sound ROMs, EMU sound ROMs, and I'm also selling these puppies. So the XL7 and the PX7. Those are both getting sold, and the P2500. I'm also selling the Novation, the Supernova, the 48-voice Supernova 2 Pro X with the 61-note keyboard. It's a beast. I'm moving and the reason is I'm moving out of my studios, and I just don't have room to keep them all at home. So I want them to go somewhere else. And there's all sorts of stuff. There's some BM15A Dynaudio speakers in there. There's an Alesis HDR24 setup. You know, that's still a good running thing. But probably the most unique thing it's good things for life. Yeah, 24 in and 24 out on band TRs. Fantastic things going direct to disc. But I've got the original Sin Oscar. Not Oscar, the original Sin 1, the DS Tech original Sin 1, which is a 3 oscillator analog synth with filters. It's a wonderful. There we go. There's some of my things, and I think they're at reasonable prices. All things considered, they're not bad at all. So yeah, we've got all of these wonderful things. They're in the auction, so fill your boots.
I believe David Arnold has put his Synth and Quadra.
Oh yes, I saw the Quadra.
Yeah, into which they were used on everything from Stargate to Independence Day to nearly all of the Pierce Brosnan Bond films as well.
Well,
yeah, I saw the Quadra go up the other day, and I believe it is...
There it is, 5,800. That seems like a very, very good price.
Actually, no, that's not it. I lie.
No, try
that's
again.
it.
Yeah. She's in very, very nice condition.
I always get nervous about that keyboard hanging over.
£8,000.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So, I mean, how often do you see two ARP Quadras up for sale in the same sale? That's quite rare.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if you are looking for some bargains, then get along to the Vemia auction, which you can find at spheremusic.com. Maybe one of our mods can throw the link in there, spheremusic.com. And all you got to do is just sign up for a free account, and then you can bid on these things. And the bidding starts at 2 o'clock British time tomorrow, which is 9 o'clock in the morning East Coast America, 6 o'clock in the morning West Coast, 3 o'clock in the afternoon Western Europe, and about 10 o'clock at night in Japan. And the auction is open for an entire week. And then they start closing at 2 o'clock next Saturday, so that's the 9th, and they start closing every few minutes from 2 p.m. So they start at the top and they close. Put in the maximum bid and automatically bids up for you if somebody outbids the current lowest bid. Kind of works just like pretty much any online auction. If anything doesn't sell, then they stick it up again on last chance or second chance Sunday, shall I say, on November 10th. So you can do that. It's completely trustworthy and probably one of the best electronic music or electronic gear auctions, because it's real people selling to other real people through an organization that has a lot of integrity. So yeah, it's probably a very safe and well managed place to go. So spheremusic.com, go and visit the auction and see if you can grab a bargain. I'm going to try a few. Nothing too fancy, I'm afraid. I've just bought honestly, I say this with my hand on my heart, I accidentally bought a Yamaha DX100 yesterday.
Easily done.
I didn't mean to do it. It was that cheap, I thought, I'll stick a cheeky little bid in just above what it was. I think it was like 155. They normally go for about 300 quid. And I put a little cheeky bid in just above 150, thinking whoever's bid, they probably put a maximum bid in of a couple of hundred, maybe even 300, and I'll just keep getting that bid. So I thought, stuck it in with about 5 seconds to go, and the phone tells me, you are currently the highest bidder. What? I didn't know. So I bought it, and it's on its way.
Teacher.
Yeah, it will, won't it? So I've always wanted one just to sort of fill that little gap. It is a little gap, but yeah. So there you go. So we mentioned. Let me just get rid of that. We mentioned a guest next week.
Yes.
Here he is. It looks like he's either straining his taters, or maybe somebody stood on his foot. We can ask him next week, because next week we're going to be joined live in the studio by Mr. Jem Godfrey, aka Frost, aka #1 hit single writer for many bands, and an all-round lovely bloke. Really, really nice guy. And of course, Frost have just released their latest album, which is called Life in the Wires, and it is brilliant. It's such a good album. In fact, the last couple of weeks we've been inundated with some really great music, and Frost's album is right up there. It's so good. Lots of synth stuff going on there. So we're going to be talking to Jem about the creation, the production of that, trying to find out when the tour's happening, because there's got to be a tour. So if you want questions, you want to ask questions of Jem Godfrey, make sure you're in the chat next week, and then you can throw some questions at Jem, and we will ask him and get some answers for you. But really, really looking forward to that one. He's a lovely bloke, and he's been on the show before. Go and check our videos out to find him where he's been before, and we'll see him next week. And I think that pretty much brings everything to a conclusion.
It does.
However, there was one more thing. Did I happen to mention that we've got merch?
No. Have we?
We've got merch.
Oh.
We've got loads of merch.
Tell us, please.
So we've got mouse mats, vest tops, we've got buttons, we've got baseball caps, or they call them dad hats. I don't know why. But they're available in a wide range of colours, including this lovely stone colour. There's a salmony pink colour. There's a nice kind of purpley, well, they call it navy. It looks like purpley blue anyway. But yeah, there's all sorts of colours. And it's woven, and it looks lovely. It's made of cotton, and it's only just under 20 quid. There's bucket hats, there's fake leather jackets, there's denim jackets, we've got phone cases, T-shirts coming out of your ears in all sorts of different designs. We've also got hoodies with printed logos on. We've got hoodies with stitched, embroidered logos on. We've got mugs. We've got water bottles, we've got stickers, and there'll be more stuff. And if there's anything there that you would like to see but don't currently see, whether it's a certain type of product or maybe you want a different colour shirt, we can do stuff like that. So do let us know. ProSynthNetwork@gmail.com, or give us a shout out on our Facebook page. We did t-shirts for Keith. Look, orange t-shirts with different sorts of logos on. Sweatshirts, all sorts. Lovely stuff. Lovely stuff. So the link for that, let me just throw that in the chat.
If I get thirsty, is there anything? Oh, look, there is.
There is. There's mugs. There's water bottles.
Yeah, there's mugs.
There we go. You lot have been asking for it for years. Every time I go out to a show, have we got any? Where can we get t-shirts? Here they are. They're all there. Go and fill your boots, or whatever it is that you do with that. But we've got merch, and thank you to everyone who's bought stuff so far. It's like taking this time next year, Rodney, we shall be millionaires.
Yeah, right.
PSN hip flask, yeah, that would be. I don't think there is one. However, Nick, you mentioned PSN dog collars. I can do those. So if you're serious, if people want dog collars or cat collars with the PSN logo, let me know. I'll do them. In fact, I might even
Vickers
do them.
collars?
No Vickers collars.
No.
Colostomy bags?
No colostomy bags.
Oh, that's not. No.
No whips,
Shiwis?
no chains, no shiwis. Oh,
Wooden
shiwis
legs.
would be cool.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Shiwis would be rather cool.
Shiwis.
But they do a wide range of products. So we can do proper dog collars. So if you want them, we can do them. Oh, here you go. Scott McCauley Sound says PSN MacBook cover. We can do that. Oh. So I'll put the MacBook covers or the laptop covers because it's generic. We can do those. I'll do the dog collars as well. So that's interesting. Yes, we should do this. Absolutely, Dr. Mike Metley. Thank you very much for that. I will ask my friends at CME if I can use one of their images of a WIDI unit, and then we'll have a clinking glass emoji next to it. And everybody that watches the show will know what that means. We're going to do some anaglyph shirts as well.
Good God.
So you need to get me those images.
Are they 85 grand as well?
Yes. Absolutely. PSN willy warmers. Oh, dear.
There's a call out for, talking of dog collars, for the Lily vid.
Oh, yes, the Lily vid. Do you want to see the Lily vid? Let's do that, because, I mean, we're over time anyway. Why is it when we have nothing to talk about, we always go over time?
Have you ever watched The Pub?
Well, yeah, this is
there
the
you go. That's where the practice is done.
Yeah. Let me just see if I can. I better not download that image that Matt sent to me.
What a wanker, willy warmers.
Yeah. We can do socks.
Same thing.
Yeah, we can do socks.
Yeah, it is the same. Yeah.
Technically.
Okay, let me download that video, and then I go over here, and if I click on...
Dun, dun, dun.
This won't take a minute, callers. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Dun, dun, dun.
Downloads... Video open. Okay, we just let that upload into the studio. Whilst we're waiting, can I just remind you that we do have merch, and we're selling it. I mean, blimey, we're actually selling it while we're live on the show. Wow. Have we uploaded yet? No, it's still processing. Oh, it's only a little one. Somebody asked for willy warmers. We do sock. We can do socks.
Yeah.
So if you are, that. They're big socks, though. So we can do bikinis. We can also do swimsuits.
If you got a foot, they'll win. They'll fit.
Indeed. Absolutely. We can do shoes. We can do shoes as well, and sliders.
Piercing shoes.
Oh, no. Canvas high tops. We can do those. If we get enough interest, I think we need 50 people, because some of the things that we can do require minimum order. Uh-huh. If we get enough interest, we can do PSN coffee. We can do our own PSN coffee blend.
Yeah, that's certainly appealing,
isn't it?
Yeah.
And we'll get Jason to do. He can do, because when Jason does his things, he always has a cup of coffee with. We can,
get him to review it. Yes,
that'd be a good one. My Other Synth is a Fairlight bumper sticker.
Yeah.
They do stickers, and I'll see if I can get one. Yeah, look, any of these ideas, if you want it and want to buy it, then we'll get it made up and we can do that. PSN beer, that would be nice. Right, here we go. Here's Lily.
Very strange suggestions.
So, this is from last night's pub, okay?
Yeah.
But this is Lily the Husky on the ASM Hydrasynth, shortly followed by a CS80.
Vast in its palette.
Well, there's a way to announce
That is how to get the effect on the China concert.
Oh, she's sick.
I haven't played an F-sharp minor for a while, but thanks to the pup for starting that off.
Dog did not jump up on your hydra.
Oh, shit. She's a star.
I don't know.
She's an absolute star.
Brilliant.
What I loved...
Justin.
and Steve both playing in tune with
Nailed
Lily
it, the pair
sat
of
on.
them.
It was brilliant.
Yeah.
Absolutely brilliant. Thank you for extracting that, Matt, for sending it over. That was rather good.
And where she was sitting on the keyboard, she nearly ended the stream. It had
yes,
the
you
"Do you
said.
wish to end the stream?" button was suddenly up. It's like, ooh.
Bless her.
Little
And you
Moog.
say she's not talented. I say otherwise.
She's too talented.
I know. Anyway, that brings us to the end of the show rather nicely. Thank you for everyone that stuck around and watched us, and thank you to everyone that's going to watch us on catch up. We know lots of you do, and if you like what you see, if you like what you've seen right now, and you're watching right now, click that thumbs up button right now, because it does help. We've noticed it really does help. So give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down if that's how you feel. But please do. And if you're watching on catch up, hello. In the future, I hope everything's okay. I hope we're
Hello in
still
the
here.
future.
Yeah,
Hello.
and we will be back same time, same place next week. And of course, our American friends will be aligned with us, certainly orologically, maybe not politically though. Who knows? Because of course, next Tuesday it all kicks off a little bit. So we shall see. Hopefully, everything's going to be fine. Obviously, we don't. On this show, we don't take political sides. All I would say is go out and vote. Whoever you're going to vote for, just go out and vote, because it's something you have control. But anyway, we will see you all at the same time, hopefully, the usual time, next week, when we will have the wonderful Jem Godfrey on the show for an entire 2 hours of shenanigans and some laughs and some great music. And can't wait for that show.
Sweet.
Indeed. Guys, busy for the weekend?
Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. Get a share?
Well, half the stuff you see on VMA.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's that.
Yeah, there's that.
Labelling all the stuff I've got in Vima.
It's going to be a Vemia weekend.
It is.
Fantastic. Well, go along. And, of course, don't forget to go and watch Ramsey tomorrow. He'll be an hour earlier, certainly for us in the UK. Anyway, watch Ramsey's show. Watch Andy Synchrotron.
Synchrotron in the morning, yeah.
Absolutely. And again, our American friends, if you watch Andy Synchrotron's live streams that normally happen at 10 a.m. UK time, don't forget we have gone back an hour. So if you're in the US, you might need to adjust your alarms to wake up to Andy's wonderful show at 10
We
o'clock tomorrow
control
morning.
time.
Indeed.
Well, it's made at Greenwich, isn't it?
Well, apparently, yeah. The
They
fact
ship it out from there.
Yeah. So, go and watch that. Go and watch Rans in the afternoon. And then, of course, we're back. There's loads of other great shows. Jason Jervis's show. Go and watch his channel. Go and subscribe to that as well.
On Sunday, yeah.
There's one on Sunday. There's one
Yeah.
on Tuesday as well. Kent's probably going to do pubs. So there's loads of stuff. Loads of stuff for us all to get our teeth into. Happy synthing. Make lots of great music if you can. Don't forget to send your Synthspiration videos to prosynthnetwork@gmail.com. Don't send the videos, send me a link to download it. We will feature it like we did. We featured 2 this week, and tell us about what inspired you electronic musically. And until that time, have a fantastic weekend, and we will see you all same time, same place. Tatty bye!